Alright, so I'm going to give you a little garden tour, and this will be the first time I'm introducing this space as Hillcrest Heirlooms, which is really exciting. I'm in the process of creating a business plan to turn this space into a profitable market garden. And so in this area, up in this corner, I have tarped off, and this will be my herb garden area. All these plants here are going to go, those are going to get ripped out, and I have a big large circular planter that's going to go in there, and where I can plant mint family things, because you've got to create a barrier for those mint family plants or they will take over. So in this area, I'm going to put lots of culinary and medicinal herbs, and I can't wait to see this, rather than dead brown grass and black tarps, to see this lush and green with some incredible, fragrant, delicious herbs. I've got my elderberry bushes over there. This is a little hazelnut tree, and I've got another one across the way. And here is our blackberry bush, this monster right here. A lot of work to get that cleaned out, but you basically need a suit of armor to go anywhere near it, because they are wild blackberries, so they are certainly not thornless. This first area here is my first set of beds. It's only 4 beds, and each bed is 50 feet long, and the individual beds themselves are 30 inches wide, and the pathways are about 15 inches, and this is a pretty traditional market garden setup. They are a permanent raised bed system. It's hard to tell what makes them a raised bed currently because it's a bit of a weedy mess, but as you can see, the walkways are, I'm standing kind of down in a walkway, and the beds on either side are raised. Over here I have an exceptionally beautiful weed patch, but I have carrots and a tiny bit of spinach growing in here, not doing fantastic. There's this spinach right there. But mostly what this has turned into is a pumpkin patch and a learning experience as to the size and the overwhelmingness that is pumpkins, that we did not anticipate, and so they kind of took over everything. Even despite that, though, I'm still getting decent yields of peas. These are peas here, and in the next row over is beans. And one of the reasons we planted peas and beans is because they're nitrogen fixers, and so even if they're not producing for us at the moment, what we'll get back and what they've done for the soil will also be fantastic. These pumpkins are supposed to be a pie variety of pumpkin. They're Cinnamon Girl is the name. And I'll just show you really quick. These carrots are about as big around currently as, I'd say, my thumb, maybe a little bit bigger. And so I'm just waiting for the first frost to harvest these. Frost to cool tolerant plants actually sweetens them. And so here you can see my pea pods, and I'm just kind of out here harvesting stuff. And so these peas, now that the weather has cooled off, it's been amazing. I tasted these when it was hot out, and they were really delicious. And now that we've had a cool break in the weather, they're really, really sweet. I can't even imagine if I had planted these a bit later and it was cooler out, I'd be willing to bet these would nearly be candy, because even just the cool break in the weather has sweetened them. So the next row over are my beans, and so you can see a pumpkin in there, which I'll talk about in a second. But these beans, despite the pumpkins overgrowing, are still yielding us, decent amounts, more than we can eat and keep up with, really, even though most of it's covered in pumpkins. What I'm picking out here and there has been fabulous. And these beans here are purple, green, and yellow. I bought them as a mix like this. The green variety actually they've matured the fastest. The yellow variety has been a wonderful provider. The purple beans, though, aren't doing as great. They take longer to mature, and so the green and the yellow established themselves quite quickly, and the purple were just kind of tagging along, and in that time the pumpkins took over, so they never really got a good chance. It's not their fault, I don't think. But I'm really loving this yellow variety. It's a lot easier to pick and see than the green. The green variety got quite large and a little bit tougher. So I'm really enjoying these yellow ones. So I might just purchase just the yellow variety. Actually, I have a seed packet of just the yellow variety for next spring, and I'm really excited to grow these again. The purple ones, let me break off the end. What's really cool about these is just the skin, just the very outside of the skin is purple. Whenever you cook them, they're kind of magical. They turn back to green whenever you cook them. And so they're like color changing beans. So the pumpkins, which I'll show you really quick, these are a pie variety. They're cinnamon girl, so they're actually meant for cooking. And as you can see, they're quite green at the moment. Someone asked if these were watermelons, but you can see at the bottom, they're starting to turn orange. And so hopefully soon, some of these bigger ones will start to mature. And who knows, maybe by Halloween, I'll be able to make some pumpkin pie. And there's also, I mean, plenty of smaller pumpkins that are coming about, so maybe I'll have some, you know, in time to save for Thanksgiving. The beds, as you can see, let me climb out and get turned around here. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted harvesting peas. I swear every time I turn around I find a new pea pod. The beds, as you can see, so these are 4 beds across. And so the next tarp I have, so each tarp I can squeeze out 4 beds. So I've got another 4 beds that was tarped out here. I'm just letting, you know, we're not doing anything with this at the moment. We've got to get our larger tiller working, and really I'm just kind of waiting on these pumpkins to die off. I can't till with them in the way. So this will get, I'm wanting to use no-till methods, but in order to get the beds established, this grass is so thickly like thatched in there that in order to do this bed a little bit quickly, we did till just the very top layer of soil, maybe the top few inches, just to make it a little bit easier to establish the permanent raised beds. But once we get all of our beds established, hopefully we'll, you know, have little to no use for the tiller. And I'm going to keep doing these beds all the way across to hopefully have about 28 beds that are about 50 feet long. This bed here I might be able to extend, and the next 4 over I might be able to extend an additional 20 to 25 feet or so. And I might look at doing that. But my hope is for them to go all the way across. One of the issues I'm going to run into is where we used to park the cars. There's a significant amount of soil compaction, and so that might be something a battle. I might have to do something like tillage radish or something to really break up that soil. And so, and back here I have this gorgeous redbud tree, which will produce edible redbuds for me in the spring, which will be really, really cool. And so, yeah, this is what I've got started, kind of some of the plans that I have. It's a bit of a rambly video, but who would I be if I didn't ramble? So anyway, I just really wanted to share this space now, so that you can see where I'm sort of starting at. You know, where I really started was just, this was a field, and there were weeds everywhere, and so, you know, this is kind of where I'm jumping off into this adventure, and I can't wait to see how it grows, and I can't wait to share that journey with everyone.